Hello, my fellow Game of Thrones nerds. This is me, Daniel, here with another Game of Thrones video. Not a recap, not a synopsis, not a preview, and not a prediction. This is actually from post Game of Thrones series. This is my top 10 favorite Game of Thrones episodes from the whole series, from season 1, episode 1 to season 8, episode 6. I've watched it, rewatched it, watched them all so many times, and I've come down to my top 10. It wasn't easy because there's just so many good ones, but at the end of the day, I had to come down to a good list because when it comes down to it, there were just, oh man, how many were there? 73 episodes. I think I might be wrong on that, but that's just off the top of my head. 73 episodes. Top 10, man, that is about 15% of the episodes. I do have some honorable mention that I have to go through right now really quick because I couldn't keep them off the list. They were so good episodes, but they could not crack it. I mean, there was good parts in those episodes, but in the end of the day, just didn't do what the other episodes did, which was totally encapsulate me in the whole series. Okay, so without further ado, here's my top 10 list, and I'm actually going to start with my honorable mentions. And these are going to be good ones. Got my hand in any pencil, paper, we're good to go. So, honorable mentions. Let's do it. Mother's Mercy. I know that's a lot of people's top 10. That's in season 5, episode 10. Because it had just so much going on in it with the death of Jon, Marcella's death, Stannis' death, and Meryn Trant's death. But there's just something lacking in the final episode of that season. Everyone called the whole season kind of lackluster. I thought it was pretty good, but I knew that there was just something else that could have been done in the end of the whole thing. It was a good episode. I almost would have put it like number 11, number 12, but almost. Next honorable mention is The Climb. Ooh, that is season 3, episode 6. Really good. Great dialogue between Varys and Littlefinger. Great dialogue between Jon, or action and dialogue between Jon and his girl. Oh, I just skip out her name. Well, I skipped out her name. My bad. That's a brain fart. But yes, him and her had a great chemistry, and the fact that it ended the way it did was even better. But that whole episode was just amazing, from scenery to dialogue to people, but still was just a middle episode to a middle season. The next one will be another honorable mention would be The Door. The ending though killed me. I mean, killed Hodor, but it killed me in the long run. That's why I always, forever Hodor. Come on, you gotta give it out to him. So amazing, such a great guy. I mean, forever faithful. There was some forgetful scenes in that episode, so I couldn't keep the whole thing in there. The next one was The Children. Season 4, episode 10. Really good episode. With not sure why I like this one so much. It just had so much substance to it with Jon and everything in it. It was a really good episode. Just not what I really thought a lot of other season enders were. And again, my last honorable mention would be Winter is Coming. Season 1, episode 1. Great way to start it off. With character development, just scene development, just the way they just delivered. And produce that whole first episode. They had to reproduce it, which was even more impeccable because they knew how bad they had it. Um, so they knew they had to do a better job with it. So they made sure they did what they had to do to make a good pilot, and it was the best pilot I think I've ever seen. It really just pulled me in. But still kind of slow, not a lot of fighting, blah blah blah. Typical Game of Thrones nerd talk. Sorry, that's me. Boo hoo. But really great episode. After that episode, I was hooked. But there was one more episode in my top 10 that really got me hooked. And without further ado, here's my top 10 now. I'm done with the honorable mentions. So none of them are in order. I just listed my 10 that I really love because if it's hard to pick between each of them, it'd be really hard to just shift them around because each of them had their own unique, great styles with great directors in them. I will say that my last, my top mention is my number one episode ever. I loved it too much. I will rewatch it till the end of time. But every other episode is really good, but just not in order. So give me a break. Don't give me a break. Do what you want. Put it in the comments. I really don't care. Do your thing. Okay, so without further ado, my top 10, not in any specific rank. Number 1, of course, The Mountain and the Viper. Man, was that a great episode. From dialogue to fighting scene to an unexpected ending to the whole episode. Just great. Really great. It reminded me of season 1, episode 9, where it had a lot of stuff going on and you really weren't expecting the end of it. The way the Viper died, Oberyn Martell, was just crazy. The way the Mountain almost dies was even more crazy. The way Tyrion sees his fate is even worse. And the way you see that Cersei can win no matter what just kills it. Next would be Battle of the Bastards. How do you not love Battle of the Bastards? Like, just an impeccable episode. The whole thing was great. One flaw would be Jon's floppy sword in the middle of the whole, when he's jumping on his horse. Kind of undoes it for me. Just a tad, but just, the whole thing is great. I mean, so great. It's, everyone guessed the Battle of Bastards would happen, but not like that. That was just unbelievable. The way Ramsay ends, whew, killer. Literally, killer. And next would be Hardhome. Hardhome really does it in for me. Hardhome's not in the books. Everyone knows that. Every true fan knows that. But the way they depict it was just crazy. I mean, showing Jon against the Night King was just really well done. I wish they would have done a better job in the end with them. Like, they had a face-to-face, and then they had just a lesser face-to-face at the end. But they did a really good job, I think, in that sense right there. With the hopelessness of the whole thing. With Dolorous Edd just basically being the man of reason for him. And I think they did really good. The fight scene was great. The dialogue before it was great with Tormund and Lord of Bones. That was one of my favorite scenes ever. I don't know. It's just always holds a place in my heart. It's really good. Next will be Battle of Blackwater. Ooh. That was one of the first episodes that really encapsulated me and enticed me to want to watch more. Because it was just one episode about one fighting scene. And it was the smartest Tyrion ever did in the whole series at this point. Well, at all, because the series is over. He really did his best there. He somehow figured out Stannis, and he got him. The fire or the wildfire is even better. Um, the dialogue between Cersei and Sansa, so great, really good. The whole thing, from top to bottom. My favorite line of the whole thing, of the whole series, is to be really bad at quoting. Is there are good men out there trying to kill us or trying to knock down our doors. Let's go kill them. God dang, that's good. Probably gonna edit that out, but we'll see. Just a really good piece of writing. My next one would be Baylor, season 1, episode 9, where Ned cuts the end. That was the first one that really shocked me. It really told me that this was not a Breaking Bad. It's not any kind of other series that comes along. It's not a loss. It's not anything like that. It's the main character is done for. Now you might as well invest into the next best one. So it kind of showed you that you need to rethink your values in life and in the show. You had to really know what was going on. Okay, so on to my next video. I'm sorry to say this is going to be a little controversial for some people, but I actually really liked it. It was The Bells. Really good episode, a lot of good just fighting scenes and just the way they depicted the whole ending of the whole thing. Wasn't a big fan of the ending, but this definitely did a really good job at it. Well, I'll just skip through it really quick because I don't think a lot of people liked it too much. Number 7 would be The Reigns of Castamere, because that one really just sucked me into the whole depiction of what Game of Thrones would be. Dismal, sad, unforgiving, unpredictable. A lot of uns in there. But really good episode to the end of it, I think. From beginning to end, you weren't expecting any of it. So, really loved it. From the Stark death to the Frey winning to Arya knowing that she had to be her own person. Next episode would be The Lion and the Rose, because that was the redemption for her, the Reigns of Castamere. Gosh, yes, you had to love Joffrey just biting the bullet. I mean, or drinking the wine, or eating the cake, whatever you want to call it. He died. Loved it. Great job acting. Forget what his name is, but great actor. Pulled it off greatly. Whew. I couldn't have done that whole wedding myself. From the way it was depicted to the extravaganza to everything. Really good episode. Loved the way it ended though, because he got his comeuppance. That's what you want in life. For people to get their comeuppance. Number 9 would be The Laws of Gods and Men. Wow, that was I've been saying all the episodes and everything. I'm sorry for that. The Lion and the Rose was season 4, episode 2. But The Laws of Gods and Men were season 4, episode 6. And that was the trial for Joffrey on Tyrion. And that was Tyrion's breakdown. He was done with the whole BS. He was done with just letting people know that he is a nice guy. He's like, you know what? No. I'm a nice guy, but until you break me, I'm done. That was just one episode that truly showed what dialogue can do in a good series and a good season. That was the best dialogue in any of the whole series. Really was. So great. It was Tyrion just showing what he could do best. It was talk. He talked the talk and he walked the walk. And he definitely let everyone know that they were the piece of works that he knew they were. loved it. And when his girl, his whore, sorry, turned on him, he was done with it. He was done playing the nice guy. He was gonna be Tyrion Lannister, aka, or emphasis on the Lannister. So I loved the way he ends the whole thing. Couldn't have said it better myself in the long run. So that's the way I think of it. And the last, number 10, is my number 1 episode of all time. I hope you can guess it, but if you can't guess it, I'm sorry, because you obviously don't know Game of Thrones good enough as I do, because love it. So I'll give you about 3 seconds to guess it. 1, 2, 3, you're done. It is The Watchers on the Wall. Man, that whole episode was amazing. From the dialogue to the fighting to the Thenns to Jon to oh my god, why can I not remember her name? Oh, it's killing me now. But it was just so good. I mean, really good. The writing in it was great. The acting in it was great. The scenery in it was just impeccable. Everything about it, from beginning to end to middle to everything, was just crazy good. I couldn't have written or thought of a better episode myself. It truly showed that Jon should be the man he is meant to be, and he was meant to be there. The ending was a little heartbreaking, but it was still the way it was gonna always end. And in the middle, you didn't know if Jon was gonna be the Night's Watch or Wildling, and you finally figured it out. And toward the end, great episode. I mean, wow, it kills me that that's how Jon's true love had to die, but it truly was a Game of Thrones ending for her. And the fact that I can't think of her name twice now kind of crushes my heart. But leave the comment below and tell me how stupid I am for loving Game of Thrones and not knowing one of the most important character names. I get it. I'm having a brain fart for like the past 15 minutes now, but it's okay because we all aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. If you think you are, that's pretty sad too. If you think you're perfect, that's even an imperfection right there. But like I said, love the episode. It was just so well done. I think after that, it was just all downhill. Not in terms of writing or direction or anything. It was just, you couldn't get any better. Loved every minute of it. And I'll rewatch it and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it till the end of time, because wow. I'm speechless on it. I wrote down stuff and I'm still speechless on it. My favorite episode, and I just can't think of anything better. From the deaths of Gren and the other guy, just the way the Night's Watch fought, the way the Wildlings fought back, to the biggest fire the North has ever seen. Just crazy good. But you guys gotta let me know what you think. If you think my list is off, let me know. Like I said, the top 10 wasn't 10 to 1. It was all 10 clustered into 2 with no certain order, and number 1 was my number 1. But let me know what your number 1 is. I'd really like to know, because I love hearing opinions. So leave a comment down below, leave a like on this video, and please subscribe to me. I need followers. I really like to know that you guys like to listen to me. I can get better. I'm getting better. And I'd really like to just hear your guys' feedback. So thank you. Have a great Thursday night, and I truly appreciate everything you guys do for me. Love you guys. See you guys later, and goodbye.